Hello, watching Vnews Bulletin. From another headlines as usual.
Party state leaders pay tribute to late President Ho Chi Minh. New expressway put into use in Quảng Ninh province. And later on, spreading the beauty of ancient Vietnamese costumes.
Let's begin our bulletin with Latin news. First of all, we report on recent activities of Vietnamese leaders.
Party Jealousy Gathering in Phu Trong offered incense in memory of late President Ho Chi Minh at House 67 inside the Presidential Palace complex on September the 1st on the occasion of the 77th National Day and also the 53rd year since the late president passed away. On the occasion of major national anniversaries and festivals, the party chief has always paid respect to President Ho Chi Minh, a genius leader and national hero who has devoted his entire life to the Vietnamese country and people, leading the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Vietnamese people to glorious victories. Talking to staff members of the radical side, Party General Secretary Trump hailed their efforts to impart the ideology, morality, and lifestyle of late president to visitors. He reiterated that studying and following the president's ideology, morality, and lifestyle is an important regular task for the entire party and people. Delegation of the party's Central Committee, the President, the National Assembly, the government, and the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee laid rest and paid tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum in Hanoi on September the 1st on the occasion of the 77th National Day. The delegation included Politburo member and President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc, study member of the party's Central Committee Secretariat Võ Văn Thưởng, and Secretary of the party's Central Committee, and President of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee Đỗ Văn Chiến. The delegation paid respect to President Ho Chi Minh, a genius leader and national hero who has devoted his entire life to the Vietnamese country and people, leading the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Vietnamese people to glorious victories. The leaders pledged that the entire party, people, and army will unite and make utmost efforts to seize opportunities and overcome difficulties to continue realizing the noble goals of the August Revolution, building and safeguarding a peaceful, independent, and unified Vietnam with territorial integrity, prosperous people, and a fair, democratic, and civilized society.
We have more news coming up next. Let's take a look.
Vân Đồn Mong Cái Expressway, expected to open up a new development space for the northern province of Quảng Ninh and the entire Red River Delta, was inaugurated on September the 1st. The expressway, which is 18.23 km long and 25.25 meter wide, connects Vân Đồn International Airport and the access road to Bắc Luân 2 Bridge on the Vietnam-China border in Mong Cái City. Invested at a total cost of $1.87 billion, the road is equipped with an intelligent transport system working around the clock and in all weather conditions. Addressing the inauguration ceremony, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that Vân Đồn Mong Cái Expressway will help Quảng Ninh establish itself as a strategic transit point in the East Asia, Southeast Asia, ASEAN, China region. The two corridors One Belt Cooperation Zone between Vietnam and China, and the expanded Gulf of Tonkin Inter-Regional Cooperation Area in the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area. He added, it will not only create a new development space for the Northern Midland and mountainous region and the Red River Delta, including Quảng Ninh province, but also promote production, business, trading, service, tourism, industrial, and urban development in the places it traverses.
"47 years after Vietnam's liberation, the Trường Sa archipelago today is not only a strategic outpost, but is also a strong defense point covered by greenery. First-time visitors and returning soldiers who fought to the island's liberation have all been amazed by the archipelago's green transformation.
Since he completed his mission of defending Trường Sa, veteran Nguyễn Văn Tho had the opportunity to return to the archipelago and visited Trường Sa Đông, where he and his compatriots overcame many setbacks from 1981 to 1983 to fulfill their mission of defending the island.
40 years after I first went there, I was amazed by the changes on the island. There were no trees before, but now, with support from the party and the state, the island has turned into a green and beautiful place. By the time we fought on the island, we faced many difficulties, such as the shortage of drinking water or the lack of vegetables. We never saw a stalk of vegetable, but only grasses and pumpkins.
Even indigenous plants such as bay hops, tamanu trees, tree heliotrope, and square eagle trees are difficult to grow. It takes a lot of effort to nurture these plants. Beyond trees for shade, most islands in Trường Sa archipelago and DK1 platform now have vegetable gardens.
We make use of the water from our daily activities to grow vegetables. We can now include vegetables in the soldiers' meals.
With support from people on the mainland and the efforts of Trường Sa soldiers and people, the archipelago has become a wide green space of aspirations and peace.
Deputy Prime Minister Lê Văn Thành has just signed a decision approving a project on the development of marine economic clusters. Accordingly, 7 maritime economic clusters will be formed by 2030, serving to turn Vietnam into a strong marine country.
The clusters will prioritize services, products with added value, attract large-scale enterprises and high-tech projects to contribute to green growth and protect the marine ecological environment as well as the marine economy. These clusters will also contribute to consolidating and strengthening national defense and security in the sea and islands. Notably, developing sea and island tourism is one of the priorities for effectively exploiting the potential and strengths of tourism resources in each region and the entire coast of Vietnam. In particular, the project stresses the importance of the development of the tourism economy with ecotourism and leisure centers, complexes, and sea and island resorts that meet international standards in clusters in the central region, the southwestern coastal area, Kiên Giang, Cà Mau, and other areas with suitable conditions.
Ethnic people on the Đông Văn Karst Plateau in Hà Giang province has developed apiculture from white flowers. Honey is now a typical farm produce of the province and has contributed to local poverty reduction efforts. Đông Văn Karst Plateau, known for its harsh climate, is home to wild meat flowers that enable people from ethnic groups to develop apiculture. A cooperative has linked farming households together and worked to ship the special honey abroad.
We not only sell honey, but also tell stories from local residents and promote the quality of the main flower honey among consumers.
It's really delicious. We have different honey in England, so it tastes a bit different, but it's very fragrant. It's nice and sweet, but not too sweet, and yeah, it's got a great consistency, texture. I'd love to bring some back to England and show my family. I think it's.
Sung Sinh Vu, who has kept honey bees for 5 years, has set up a cooperative investing in modern technologies and techniques.
To ensure that mint flower honey meet standards, we work to obtain geographical indications and food safety certificates, and also pay attention to packaging.
Đông Văn district has more than 600 apicultural groups and individuals, keeping 13,500 bee colonies that yield about 9,000 liters of honey each year.
The People's Committee of the district has made plans to conserve and develop mint flower cultivation zones, allocate funding to stakeholders, and warn local people against using herbicides that affect the growth of the flowers.
Mint flower honey is a staple of 4 districts on the Đông Văn Karst Plateau, with output of 30,000 liters a year, fetching over $8.5 million. It's also viewed as a product serving tourism development in Vietnam's northernmost province.
Books and the art of book binding around the world were discussed by antique book collector Zu Thanh Khiêm at a program held recently in Ho Chi Minh City.
Starting with a passion for collecting old books after his shelter in Belgium, Mr. Zu Thanh Khiêm started book binding for 12 years at an academy in Brussels. He has continued his studies since and become a master of the art. Book binding involves beautifying and preserving the value of books and began in Egypt. 100-year-old Bibles bound in Coptic sewing have remained undamaged over the years, and this type of binding is taught at book binding schools in Europe. Mr. Khiêm said the art of book binding seems to have disappeared in Vietnam. He's expressed a hope that young Vietnamese would learn the art and work to preserve the nation's precious book heritage.
In recent years, I have met a number of young people who are fond of and passionate about the art of book binding. This makes me very happy.
The art of preserving books reflects the cultural level of a community. It's therefore necessary to pay more attention to the art of book binding.
With the rapid pace of fashion trends, antique Vietnamese costumes may well have been on the verge of oblivion. To preserve and spread the traditional beauty, however, a number of organizations and individuals in Ninh Bình province have held a series of photo tours to bring antique Vietnamese costume closer to the public.
Sites and attractions such as Hoa Lư Ancient Capital, Bí Động Pagoda, Thiên Hà Cave, and the Temple of Saint Nguyễn, and a space stimulating buffalo fighting were among the destinations of the photo tours, called Through the Heritage Domain, held by the Ba Ngàn 3000 art exhibitor, who coordinated with the Dong Phong tailoring and sewing of traditional costumes. At each destination, models were dressed in different costumes.
In the process of researching ancient costumes, the most difficult thing was learning about materials, because information is quite sparse. I will conduct more experiential sessions in the future so that young people can try on these costumes.
Attire such as Tất, Ngũ Thân, Giao Lĩnh, and Nhật Bình appear in tourist areas and attractions in Ninh Bình with lively colors. Combined with an Asian's quiet space, they not only enhance the beauty, but also attract many people who love learning about traditional culture.
Photographers like me also want to introduce and promote the image of the nation's traditional culture.
When I put on costume from the Lê dynasty, I feel very proud and can see their beauty. In addition to antique costume photo tours, exhibitions of the costumes and demonstrations of fabric dyeing have also been held, helping to give the antique Vietnamese costumes a presence in the modern world. Such events not only preserve and uphold the traditional beauty of traditional Vietnamese costumes throughout the dynasties, but also introduce and promote the image of the land and people of Ninh Bình to domestic and foreign visitors.